All right, trailer number 3, Iwatodai dorm life. Yeah, I find it wild that in Japan they have dorms for high schoolers, like middle schoolers and high schoolers. Whereas here, we pretty much only have dorms if you're living at uni, which is mostly foreign exchange students and like spoiled rich local kids that don't find share housing elsewhere. But it's good fun in the sun.
Welcome back. I had planned to give Yamagishi a tour of the dorm, but I realized I never actually showed it properly to any of you since you moved in.
Ah, so she basically works there. Yeah, that was basically my job. Stopping young people from dying. Like, literally. I worked at the university while I lived there. And my job was to make sure that the kids living there don't end up killing themselves. There was this one instance of this student getting a rice cooker and putting it on the stove and cooking it. And naturally it started a fire, but luckily the kitchens were basically fireproof because nothing was flammable. But then the kid took a towel from the bathroom and started hitting the fire with the towel, and then the towel caught fire, and then he threw the towel on the mattress, which wasn't fireproof. And then instead of pulling the fire alarm or telling someone, he just left the room and then left the building. And then the fire spread. Funnily enough, this was on my floor, which was also the 13th floor. So it was kind of cursed. And so I'm like, do I smell smoke? And I go outside. I'm like, and there's this like thick haze. I'm like, ah, crap. And then I hear the fire alarm go off. But the problem was, we did fire drills so often that most people didn't actually leave the building during the fire alarm. So I had to manually go door to door and tell people, get the F out, there's a literal fire on our floor. And by that time, they actually turned off the lights on our floor, like all the electricity to, try to contain the fire. And then all the lights were out. It's pitch black. I've got the master key. I'm going room to room. I'm like, guys, get out. There's a literal fire. Anyway, I open this one room. I'm like, is there anyone in there? You obviously knock. It's like, hello, is there anyone in there? Knock, knock, knock. It's like, I'm opening the door. I've opened the door. Is anyone in there? And I could basically hear the bed squeaking and people breathing. I'm like, guys, I don't care if you're humping each other. There's literally a fire on the floor. You can finish off later. Like, just get the F out of the building. I don't care. It's like, oh, by the way, I'm leaving now. So if you're stupid enough to stay and you burn to death, it's not my problem. Like, I literally said it like that. And I left. And I was just like, idiots. The worst part was they gave him another room. He was this spoiled. And the worst part was, like, he wasn't using a studio apartment. He had, like, a massive 22 square meter apartment, which is basically the equivalent of the penthouse suite at university. And he burnt it down. And they gave him another one because he was some rich kid from China. He probably paid for the damages for the whole floor. Stupid rich kids trying to cook a rice cooker. I can just imagine him getting rice. How do you rice? I get rice cooker. How do you rice cooker? I cook rice cooker. Like, seriously, the future is screwed. We have dorms for high schoolers in Hungary too. Although we were learning professions beside the basic things normal high schools teach. But I lived close, so I never lived in the dorm. But a lot of students did. Well, I lived in a dorm because, like, one, working for the university, I got a subsidy for the rent. Two, the rent was less than if I was living somewhere else nearby because it was in the middle of the city CBD. And three, you basically get dibs on foreign exchange students. Because my job was literally to say, hey, welcome to Australia. So you basically see everyone that arrives from overseas when they arrive. And you get paid for it. Best job ever.
This is the communal kitchen.
Communal kitchen? We had one of those.
But with
Except that was like on the common floor where people would just throw parties and do drinking games.
the kitchen this big, I think a couple people could work together in here. We can have the work, but double the flavor, you know?
Wait, is that a DVD player? When did that get here?
Oh, that's mine. I hoped you all might make better use of it.
This area is pretty sweet. Nice and quiet, and let me tell you, those chairs are soft. When I cozy up here with a good book, I end up reading way late into the night.
All you read is manga.
the chairman,
That entire share area is one giant fire hazard. It's all wood and carpets. And even the cables, the electrical cables are on the floor, so if they fail, they can actually spark. My god.
Wanted to start a small garden here.
You know what I'd try growing?
Are you okay doing this all on your own?
Why don't you help him out, Junpei? It's not like you've got anything better to do.
Junpei? Excuse me, I'm getting Zero Escape vibes.
If there's anything you'd like to do here, you may want to invite the others to join you. This may be coming.
Oh, so he's talking to the girl and the girl's stalking. Oh, yeah, we've got love interests, of course. Watching this DVD with Yukari, it might help improve my charm. Yeah, I bet what kind of DVD you're watching will help improve your charm.
A little late for most of you, but welcome to the dorm.
I can see the dorm part of the game just... Oh my god. No. I gotta be careful with what I say. Hutchin will kill me, because she lived at university. That's where we met. Except I started working at the uni like a year before I met her. So like... Oh god. Foreign students. Anyways, cool. I think that's the third and final trailer. Okay, so I seem to be getting a rough idea of what's going on. In Persona 5, you're kind of like, I don't want to say criminal, but sort of. And in this one, you're more of a typical actual high school student. Which will be cool from the point of view of, you might actually see what Japanese high school life is like. Or at least the way they portray it. Because God knows for some people it was absolute hell with club activity. Literally, like preschool club activity, school, post-school club activity, go work, go sleep. What's a social life? You know, some people were like that. And the club activities could range from anything of like sports, martial arts, or anything else, you know? It's not like in anime where everyone's part of the anime and manga club. It's like people literally playing sports before school and after school, and they have absolutely no social life. And they've probably stunted their growth from the training. Which means they're always going to basically be like that for the rest of their lives. It happens more often than not. Japan is crazy, man. Japan is crazy. God, I'm really looking forward for this game. A few playthrough for this game. I'm just worried that it's going to spark a lot of memories. Because uni was an experience. It was an experience. It was an experience. But I'm kind of, yeah, I think they're just going to give every single character a trailer, which is a good thing. Because I always say that a diverse cast is going to give people an opportunity to click with a certain character. And a lot of people might actually play a game for a certain character. And that's sort of the best way to get people into a franchise. You get a character that they probably click with, and then they'll play the game for the character. You're not going to sell this game on the premise. It's like, okay, sell me this game. Well, I shoot myself in the head, and then my soul manifests in the form of a spirit, which I use to battle and catch other spirits and save the world. It's like, so it's like a cult Pokemon. Well, there's also dating. It's like, so it's one of the ogres games. You know what I mean? You're also going to sell it if a character's interesting to people. In which case, they'll want to check out what's going on. I'm looking forward for the jokes, stories you're about to say when you play the game. I'm kind of lucky that when we did Persona 5, clips didn't exist on YouTube. So when I edited it, I didn't actually look for clips. Whereas if I play something like this, I'll be clipping the crap out of everything. Which will be fun in its own way. I don't even remember what stuff I shared in Persona 5, to be honest. Same thing with like Danganronpa. I've shared probably a lot of things. But there's still a lot of things that I did not share for obvious reasons. But I'm worried this game. Because they're in a dorm at uni, man. I mean, high school. Which is kind of even worse. You know, high school you would think they're innocent. But from what I know about Japanese people, some are innocent and some are not. There's like the innocent people that are really, really innocent. And then there's the people that kind of stopped being innocent when they were 12. Which is just shocking. But anyways, yeah. The world is a weird place.
I'm running on empty, man. Behold, a saucy, zesty masterpiece. Ain't nothing better than this. Get out, dumbass! Here you go, my treat! Yes, so good.